We're in Santa Monica, California with my friend Marianne.
Carli Jo.
And we just got back from a 1-week retreat in Palm Springs, California for our sex, love, and relationship coaching.
All about how to launch our brand, how to step out into the world and speak up. And what content to put out, how to speak about what we're doing as a sexuality coach. And
empower ourselves and empower our brands.
Yes, empower our voice.
Empower our voice. Yes, yeah. So we were in this retreat when the tragic mass shooting happened in Las Vegas. We all woke up to it on Sunday morning, and the ripple effect of the energy that all of us felt from that event, we all, help me out, man. It's like,
well, it was beautiful that Layla just said like, oh, let's all just go into meditation, and said like all this, we were creating a lot of high vibe energy and like feeling really good in our bodies, so to just send out that love that we've been creating inside of ourselves to the ones that got hurt, and also the family and the loved ones of the ones that got hurt. So we meditated on that, and that was really powerful to do. And
we gave them a lot of our love, and so much of our hearts went into that meditation for all of the people who lost loved ones or were there, who survived or didn't. And then this morning in my aerial yoga class, we led about an hour and a half of a class where we really just connected to our bodies and our breath.
Yes, and all of us was first time doing aerial yoga. My first time, and all the women there were doing the first time.
So we went really slowly, and we did a lot of breath work, and we talked about the womb, and we talked about placing your awareness into the womb and breathing from that place, and really moving from a place of awareness, not in the head and more into the body. And if you've never experienced aerial yoga before, it is this really beautiful hammock that's U-shaped, so you can really just feel really held and supported in it. And Marianne,
to me, it really felt like I was inside the womb. Like I felt so protected and so like safe. And it felt really warm, and like, oh my God, this must have been what it felt like when I was like a very small baby being inside my mother's womb. I felt very safe and very protected. And then one of the ladies afterwards, but I think you have to tell because she came to you.
So one of the women after the class came up and said that this was her first exercise that she's done, or means of exercise that she's done where she hasn't cried. And so I asked her, why that is, and she shared with us that she was at the Las Vegas shooting, and she's been having a lot of PTSD from it.
Yeah, she felt really traumatized, and like that the trauma was stuck in her body, and she went to her psychiatrist, and she was trying to figure out where to go, like what therapist, like who can help me to get this trauma out of my body, because every time I fall asleep I see these images, and every time I'm closing my eyes I see these images.
Or working out even.
Each time she's been working out she's been crying, and
or high intensity workouts as well. Like she said she was in a yoga class where she was kind of doing like some high intense sprint kind of stuff, and she said it reminded her of being there in Vegas and running when the shooting
the trauma
happened.
Was very alive in her body, and it's really beautiful because you really immediately jumped in, and like the part of the work that we're doing is deep trauma release. And Carli Jo just beautifully went in and said like, oh, I would so love to offer you this free sessions and explain you like the work that we're doing, and especially for women. And maybe you can
and on that too though is how it was so needed to have you in class that day too, because our energies together just coming from that retreat the two of us could really, really hold the space for all the women that were experiencing aerial yoga for the first time that day. And we had no idea that she was going through what she went through. And Marianne, actually, during the breathwork session, I always cue people. Sorry.
Yeah, but can I jump in for that a second?
Please.
Because I'm a Yoni yoga instructor. And it was really interesting because during my classes I always feel like people are not breathing at all. So when you were saying like, oh, breathe and just let go and make like sound on the out breath, I felt like, oh, I really need to like go deep into that to show the women that are here that it's safe and it's okay to make sounds, it's okay to breathe and express yourself.
You gave them permission. You really like and
I went deep into it.
And it gave everyone else in the room permission to also express. And she mentioned that, and she said that she felt so safe and so held and in a space where she felt like she could just sound and start to move the blockages and the tensions and the trauma that she's holding on to her body.
Yeah.
So
and also because she said
you.
like she really felt safe because she felt like she was in the womb as well because of the hammock. So that all combined together. Really
our loving essence energy and feeling the hammock in the womb. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
coming.
too.